welcome to reality. Today I want to talk about the things that I put in my hospital bag, or things I wish I had put in my hospital bag, or things that I brought home from the hospital, or things that I put in my hospital bag but didn't need to bring. Great, those 4 categories. We're going to talk about all of those today. So if you haven't seen my hospital bag video, go ahead and check that out. I'll put a link in the description box below. But I made a whole list of 4 lists, actually, of things that pertain to the items in my hospital bag. Now I'm just going to go through each one. Some of them I might explain a little bit more than others, but this is for you, for your understanding and benefit. So the first category I want to talk about is things that I packed a bunch of or stressed about that I didn't need. So I printed off a bunch of hospital bag checklists from Pinterest, consolidated them and kind of like catered them to our preferences, and then I brought them in to my 38-week appointment or something like that to my OBGYN, and I basically said, I ran through the list with her and crossed off the things she was like, we'll provide that, we'll take care of that, you don't need to bring that, things like that. So I didn't have to bring a ton more than I needed because my hospital bag was kind of stuffed. So some of those things were diapers and wipes. Now, it might be good to have a couple, but I thought that for some reason they would only give us so many. So in my brain I was like, oh, she needs diapers. So diapers and wipes I brought a ton of, didn't need them. They'll provide it. I brought diaper rash cream. She still hasn't gotten a diaper rash, and she's 2.5 months old. She won't get one that quickly, and chances are, if your baby does get one, they'll provide you with the stuff that you need, so don't worry about that. Breast pads. Now, my OB said this would be a really great problem to have if I was making so much milk while I was still in the hospital that I would need breast pads. That's something that I stocked up on and brought a ton of that I didn't need. Outfits for me and outfits for baby. Her experience in the hospital was basically this little t-shirt, snap-on t-shirt, and diapers and wrapped in a swaddle. She wasn't in outfits. And for me, I did not feel well enough to put on pants or put on a bra and a shirt and stuff like that. I was not. Maybe your recovery from delivery will be very different, but that was my experience of the clothing realm. Next category, things that I'm glad that I brought. My first one I wrote down was harem pants. Now, harem pants, I should have brought them in with me. They're the ones with basically a drop crotch, and they're really loose and baggy. You can wear them during yoga or dance or whatever, which is why I had mine, but I'm really glad that I wore them because after delivery, you're just leaking all sorts of stuff all over the place. All of my muscles were stretched and relaxed. I didn't have any bladder control. Listen, I'm just being real, okay? This is real life. And so I didn't really want to be in anything that was close to my skin because it was going to get wet with all sorts of fluid, and then I would have to bring 7 different pairs of pants. I was not going to be about that. So I brought harem pants, which were a lifesaver. And then I also brought a pajama nursing bra, so it didn't have any structure. It was like a bralette, but it was made for nursing, so it had the clips. And that was so helpful because I wanted to have something on because we had visitors who wanted to come see baby girl, so I didn't want to be loose and free, but I was also in lots of pain because I was just learning how to nurse, and so having something that was soft without structure that gave me some sort of comfort, just another layer, but was easy to work with, was so helpful. I got mine at Target. I'll stick a link to that in the description box below. A luxury that you don't need, but I'm really glad I brought, was some really yummy lotion. And after I got my epidural, I was super itchy, and so my husband put this yummy lotion all over my back. It was so nice. It made the labor process awesome. Now, I have a Boppy nursing pillow, and I'm really glad that I brought it because they provided some. They had one at the hospital, but I didn't get to come home with it. But I already had one. I had one of my own, and so it was really nice to get to know the pillow while trying to learn how to nurse at the same time. And so my daughter was in the nursery / NICU for a couple days. She was totally fine. They just wanted to monitor her a little bit. And so they had a Boppy there, and then I kept one in my hospital room so I didn't have to like lug it back and forth. I was already in enough pain and walking was enough of a chore that I'm really glad I brought my own. Dry shampoo. List of people for my husband to text and call. It was really nice for him to have that list of people because especially like in labor or in my like really jacked up post-delivery stupor, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I just thought of this person. Like my brain was not functioning in that way. So the weeks leading up to delivery, I made a list, continued to add to the list as I thought of people. So he was able to just go to that list and text or email those people, which was so helpful. And then toiletries. I didn't think I was gonna have the energy or capacity to want to shower while I was at the hospital, but I did. I felt so gross, and the idea of like sitting in warm water like afloat was really nice because my southern regions were not wanting any pressure on them. They just hurt. I was in lots of pain. So the idea of being in bath actually sounded really nice. And then I was able to shave and like wash my hair. And so I like left the hospital feeling like a million times better. I brought a pajama shirt that buttoned up the front. It's cute, but it also was really practical because I was able to undo it whenever I needed to nurse, and if the doctors needed to help me with the nursing aspect of everything, or if somebody came in quickly, I was able to just like button it up instead of like trying to get it down over her head or something like that, when everything is like so new and confusing anyway. So that pajama shirt, I'm really glad that I brought, and it was so soft, but it is also mine from home. It was great. The next list of things is things that I either meant to bring and forgot or just didn't think to bring that I really wish I had. So stuff that I would have brought. I forgot my robe. I was so, ow. My ring just really hurt me. It was on my list, but I forgot it. Something else to bring was a swaddle from home. Now, we use the stretchy ones from Copper Pearl. I talk about them all the time. I think they're the bomb, because muslin ones just made it really easy for her to get her arms out. And then she'd wake herself up, and it was like nobody was sleeping anyway. But the stretchy ones really keep her nice and snug together. She still loves them. She's 2.5 months, and so I wish I had brought one of those from home, because then I would have learned how to swaddle with the ones that we were going to come home with. They probably would have been more effective because they were stretchy. These next ones kind of all go together. More activities to do, snacks and food, and DVDs. Now, we have Netflix, but we weren't able to get Netflix on the TV that was in the hospital room. So I wish we had brought DVDs because we don't have a DVD player at home. So I'm like, okay, wishing that we had taken that opportunity to bring the movies that we have at home that we never get to watch. And then to accompany those activities, various snacks and food. Now, I hate hospital food. So I made my husband go to Chick-fil-A and all these fast food places or sandwich places to get me food because I really struggled with the hospital food. I think it has something to do with all the time my mom spent in the hospital. But I also just have kind of a fussy palate anyway. So that I wish we had brought either just more snacks, more nutritious snacks, fruit. I felt really gross, so fruit was like something I wanted all the time. Okay, now things that I brought from the hospital back to my apartment with me. Things that they said we could bring home with us, either extra things or things that they provided that I was like, hey, I don't know where to get this, or like, hey, can we take extras home? They let us. So basically the nurses said anything that was disposable, you can take home. So one of the things that I stocked up on, because when I came home, I was still kind of leaking all over the place. I was still bleeding. I didn't really have bladder control yet, and I really didn't want to like have to change our sheets every day. So those big, they're like sheets of pad. They're like trash bags on one side and absorbent on the other side. So it's basically like a giant pad. And I'm sure there would have been a way to like makeshift one at home, like put down an actual trash bag and put like a towel on top of it or something like that. But these were really nice to just like kind of ball up and throw away, and they're thin, and so it didn't really like mess up my sleeping more than like what was already being messed up. So we brought a bunch of those home. I don't know if there's a way to buy those. If there is, buy a bunch of those. Giant pads. to absorb all the things that are leaking all the time. When I came home from the hospital, anytime I stood up, I had to make a beeline for the bathroom because I knew I was just going to leak everywhere. Really frustrating experience, but having pads is so helpful. I'm still having to buy them for like my own reasons of recovery, but you can buy either like giant, just like pads for like for periods. You can buy those if you're just bleeding. Or we discovered this, wish we had discovered it sooner. They make the proverbial they make pads for urinary leakage. So those are way more absorbent. They're way more comfy on my skin. I don't have to change them out as much. It just like lessened the stress of the whole situation. And they sell those at like Target or King Soopers or Hy-Vee or wherever you're at. Those just like generic stores. They sell those at probably at pharmacy stores like Walgreens or CVS. And then the other thing we brought home from the hospital was they give you these like giant mesh underwears that are basically the only purpose for them is to hold the pad next to your body. And I don't know if you can buy those. Maybe you can. It'd be cool. Or you can buy those like adult diapers. They would do the same thing. But we brought a bunch of those disposable undies home too. And they were really, really helpful because for a long time, I just wanted to throw my underwear away. I just like, there's just like a lot happening and the pads weren't doing it. And I just there have been a couple pairs of underwear that I've just thrown away because just can't do it. If you don't want to do adult diapers or the disposable underwear, you could just buy a big pack of granny panties, like cotton underwear, and to throw those away if you wanted to. Thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful. This is not an all-inclusive list. Oh my gosh. There are a lot of things that I brought that I was glad that I brought, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, everyone needs to know about this. Because it's like, there are certain things that are like no-brainers, like phone chargers. You know, like, yeah, you should probably bring your phone charger. So you can find tons of lists on Pinterest or Google or whatever on the interwebs. Tons of videos have been made on this topic. But those are my preferences or not preferences or things that I really just didn't need to bring that are on every hospital list that like stressed me out for no reason. Yeah, this video is to help you feel like you don't need to be stressed about those things. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching this. I hope it was helpful and a helpful resource. My brother and his wife are about to have a baby, so I was able to run through some of these things with her, and she said they were really helpful to know. That little baby boy just needs to get here. Jo wants her cousin. So she doesn't actually know that she wants her cousin. She just, you know what I mean? I just was trying to be cute. Great, so keep it real. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend who's about to have a baby, or someone who's about to have another baby, or if you're about to have a baby, congratulations. But I hope this was of use to you. Okay, bye. Also, if you like this makeup look, this bronze smoky eye, it's the Natalie Portman Golden Globes makeup tutorial recreation. I don't know. I'll put that link in the box below if you'd like to see it. So please check it out. Thanks.